I'm Justin Hensley with J. Hensley Consulting, and today I'm going to give you a brief overview of the contract lifecycle management process and how CLM software can streamline it from beginning to end. Now, first of all, who's CLM for? Well, it's really been adopted widely by a wide range of companies, organizations, and every single vertical to help them unlock the data goldmine that's been hiding in their contracts. So it could be companies, universities, school systems, city, state, county, all different governments. Anyone who's really involved in every stage of the process, who's regularly doing drafting, negotiating, signing documents, either on your own paper or on third-party paper. So let's go through each of those stages really quickly. First of all, it'll help you with the drafting process, or even just requests from the sales team, for example. A user should be able to go through and fill out a questionnaire, a guided questionnaire that's going to lead them to the proper contract that can then be generated using your own preferred language. So let's unpack that. Let's say a salesperson is generating an NDA and you have multiple locations, maybe worldwide. The system should be able to detect the location, or the user inputs a location, and then when the NDA is generated, you'll have the correct governing law clause populated. So it could be for Texas or New York or the United Kingdom. You know that the right language is in there. Then it's not going to go straight out. You can have, of course, an approval process for the legal team to review it and put it through the right approvals. Now, before we even get to approval, so let's say you've gotten the request, the document's been generated, but you need to make some changes, and you obviously need to negotiate with the other party. So a good software is going to track all of the internal changes made to the document and make it easy for the legal team to collaborate and revise. So furthermore, when you receive a draft back from the counterparty, it should be able to automatically, let's say it comes in by email, the system should automatically pull that email into the system with the attachment and attach it to the right place and mark it for review. Furthermore, when you open that attachment, you could have a button to compare it to the previous version. Let's say they forgot to turn on track changes. Click a button, so then you'll be able to open up that familiar Word interface to see all of the changes that they've made. Or let's say you've gone back and forth maybe 15 times and you're not sure how far out of scope you are from your original draft. You could click a button too and see all the changes going back to the beginning of time compared to your original draft with your preferred language to know exactly if this is still a deal that you want to continue with, or if it's getting too risky. For some levels you can even have risk ratings and have AI score it for you, so that obviously you still need a human being to read it and compare, but the AI will flag how risky this contract is getting based on your parameters. Now, for approvals, a good system will be smart and flexible. And by smart, I mean it assigns approvals based on the data in the contract. So let's say you have an approval process where the GC always approves everything, but anything over $100,000 needs to get kicked up to the CFO. Or if it's over $500,000, it goes GC, CFO, and then it needs to go to the CEO. So it should be smart enough to detect or to read the contract or read the questionnaire and know that for this particular unique contract, it needs to get approved by these people in the company. It can also be based on departments, say vendor contracts. Maybe all vendor contracts go to accounting for their review process, or IP contracts go up to the management team. So it should be smart to route the contracts through the proper approvals, which of course reduces risks to make sure you don't have contracts getting out into the wild that shouldn't be signed until they've been approved by the proper people. Now, the system should also be, of course, flexible enough to adapt to your own needs. Some software will say, this is how we do it, and we just need to train people to do it this way. A good software should be flexible to adapt to whatever your unique process is at your company. And that adaptation shouldn't take months or be on some roadmap for someday, but it should be something that could be done ideally with no code, typically same day or within a week. That my favorite platform makes it super easy and flexible to make changes so that you don't have to adapt to it, it adapts to you. Now, of course, everybody should have an e-signature solution. DocuSign is one of the major players. Whatever platform you choose should have an e-signature solution that makes it easy for people to sign it and get that signed copy back into the system so that you know this is the signed, executed final draft. And then finally, you should be able to track and report on every single important metric in the company by using the data previously hidden in your contracts. So management loves to see where everything stands at a glance. Salespeople love to know when the deal's going to close by tracking it through the system and seeing that it's going faster. Typically, these systems will help you move everything faster through those systems so they can close more deals. And everyone's happy they no longer have to search a shared drive to try and track down the info that they need. I'll unpack everything for you in later videos. If you'd like to be notified when we release new content, have a question, or are interested in exploring your CLM options, fill in our contact form and we'll be in touch. Thanks. I look forward to sharing more about how this software is going to eliminate a ton of busy work for your organization.